Hello again, it's Noob, and yes, happy 2023. I hope you all had a great Christmas and New Year. I did myself, but I'm just feeling really under the weather at the moment. I think that I probably did a little bit too much over the holiday period. But nevertheless, I'm going to try to keep the energy up for this video because it's got some really cool stuff. I'm going to focus on some smaller makers rather than stuff from the larger manufacturers, starting off with this, well, what looks like a generously appointed pinning tray from RWB Custom Picks over on Instagram. And yes, it is a well proportioned and generously spaced pinning tray for your standard pin tumblers, offering 7 rows for your pins and springs and various trays and bits for anything else that you would like to do. So I just quickly disassembled one of these kick cylinders just because I had it lying around and it sort of looked good for photographs and stuff. But I mean, realistically, you can move that there. You could use this for any number of different types of locks, not just kick cylinders like this. I stole some rather colourful pins from a little pinning set that I had, and other stuff like that, just so you could see how it all looks. They're quite nice, aren't they, when they're all coloured up like this. But I'll just tip those off into my hand and put them to one side, because this pinning tray has another side to it, and by that I literally mean another side to it. And I really like this idea, and I'm genuinely surprised that I haven't seen it before. Have you seen it before? Look at that. Now you might be thinking, what on earth is that? Well, this is brilliant. You have so many spaces here. So if you look across here, you've got 7 by 5 here. Can I do the maths? 35, something like that. Rows, and you'll see that there's a groove. You might not be able to see it because it's this really nicely milled aluminium. There's a groove running along each of these rows. You might be thinking, why would I need that? What on earth is this? It looks pretty, but does it have a purpose? And the answer is absolutely. So this is a disc detainer padlock, a baton one as it happens, quite a good one I have to say. And you'll notice that as you take these apart, there are a number of different things that you have to take into account. All the discs, all the spacers, all of which have a particular sort of way to go in. And I'm not going to disassemble the whole lock because that would make for a particularly boring video. I'll just get that spacer off here. But you'll see, I'll just put this to one side for 1 second. But no doubt I'll probably spill all its guts out and regret everything. But you'll see here that you do have all those spaces for your spacers here, the discs here, all keep them in order and the right way up. And what's even better is, as opposed to trying to pick one of these off a flat surface, you can literally just go in with your tweezers and pick them up from this groove. So you can get underneath them like this. If you've got wide enough tweezers, you can grab them from the sides like this. You can grab them from the middle like this. It just makes it a whole lot easier, because when you've got one of these on a flat surface, if you ever try to pick them up, they can be really awkward. And that just makes it, actually, I can get that. Yeah, I can just about get that. But just because you can get it doesn't mean that these grooves don't make it easier. So yeah, it's just one of those things which you're like, why have I never seen a double-sided pinning tray? And also, why have I never seen a pinning tray for a disc detainer locks, which also has sort of a groove to just assist with scooping up the discs? Doesn't that make life a lot easier? And the answer is, well, yeah. So before I carry on, full disclosure, of course, yes, RWB Custom Picks did send me this pinning tray for the purposes of this review. Other than that, I have no other affiliation with RWB Custom Picks. If you're interested in one of these yourselves, then do go over to their Instagram page where you can DM them about current prices and stuff. And I know that RWB Customs does do a range of other things too, so it's definitely worth checking out their Instagram, which I will leave in the link in the description. I mean, obviously prices will change over time, and exchange rates and where you are in the world, depending on the amount of shipping that you'll be charged and all that kind of stuff. But as an introductory offer, right now at the time of filming, this pinning tray is going for about 40 UK pounds. And next up is another really special item, and this is from Ratyoke Design. Now, this was not sent to me for review or anything like that. This was actually, unbeknownst to me, purchased for my Christmas present by my wife, who actually did all the research and located Ratyoke and was in contact and got all the pricing and got it all shipped over to me. It didn't quite make it over before Christmas Day, sadly, because we've had a lot of postal strikes here in the UK, but it did get to me safe and sound, as you can see. And Ratyoke does a lot of different designs for rings, but this is actually the one which I would have chosen myself if I was to choose one of the ring designs that he's made. So yeah, I'm very lucky that my wife knows me well enough to know which of the designs I would have liked best, and this is the one. Why? Well, I love the detail here that you got this lockpick here, a little half diamond, and then a short hook this side, and it looks like a lockpick wrapped round. Weirdly enough, I actually did make my own ring made out of quite literally a lockpick wrapped around, but that's a different matter. And you can see here that it's got the keyway which is open, which I really like. It's a picked lock, it's got lock picks, it's very subtle. It's made of, well, let's have a look on the inside here. It says made in USA, 925 silver. It's got Ratyoke's maker's mark there. It's really cool. It's got a little padlock at the back, which I absolutely love. I've been wearing this, so it might have a couple of surface scratches, which it certainly did not arrive with, just because, you know, I've been wearing it and I'm not overly careful with my ring, sadly. But this is, nice and chunky. It feels really hard wearing, and I just think a fabulous design. Really, really brilliant. So if you don't know Ratyoke design, you think, oh, that name sounds familiar. It's also because you might know Ratyoke from his custom lock picks as well, and of course there's a little bit of advertising here. Ratyoke had no idea that this was being sent to me, had no idea who my wife was, so this is all completely legit, and I just thought I'd show off one of these rings in case you've not seen one being, you know, worn by somebody in person, or seen one in person, or seen one reviewed, or anything like that. I do happen to know the price of these, which is it's not great, is it, when you know the price of a gift, but this is my hobby, so I do tend to know these things. I follow Ratyoke on Instagram and Twitter, so I do know that these, I think, and you'll have to go to Ratyoke's website for current pricing, and obviously it'll change depending on shipping and where you are in the world and all those other things, but I believe that currently this particular ring is around 120 US dollars. And I think some are a bit cheaper, some might be more expensive, but, you know, don't take my word for it. Go check out Ratyoke's website to go check out everything he's done. So he does, obviously, he's a jeweler by trade, but also is a lockpick maker, designer, and does all sorts of other things. So really do go check that out. There you go. Thank you to RWB Custom Picks for this excellent double-sided pinning tray. I was going to say thank you to Ratyoke, but really I should be thanking my wife. So thank you to Mrs. Noob for this lovely Ratyoke ring. And I really hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please do give it a like. If you've got any comments about these items, if you own one of these pinning trays or one of these rings and want to share your experiences with, you know, the makers themselves or the items you received, then please comment below. I do read them all. I reply to as many as I can. If you haven't subscribed to my channel and want to see more content like this, please do subscribe. It really helps me out. And of course, I'll see you all next time.